The alarm woke Admiral Han from his sleep at 3 in the morning. He rolled out of bed and grabbed his uniform, like something big was happening. The emergency tone only sounded for the worst kind of news. Han walked quickly through the metal corridors of the command ship Qiandun. The ship was humanity's newest and biggest warship. It floated in space near Earth, always ready to protect the planet. Han had commanded this ship for 2 years, but he had never heard the emergency alarm before. When he reached the bridge, Lieutenant Na was waiting at her station. Her hands were shaking as she worked at the computer. Captain Wu stood behind her, his face white with shock. "What do we have?" Han asked. "Admiral, we got a message from space," Na said. Her voice was quiet. "It's from aliens. The computer is still working to understand their language." Han felt his heart beat faster. Aliens. Humanity had always wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they had their answer. "Show me," Han said. The big screen at the front of the bridge lit up with strange symbols. Slowly, the computer changed the alien words into English. Han read the message and felt sick. The aliens called themselves the Vex Collective. They said they were sorry. They said they had made a mistake. They said Luna Base 7 was gone.
"No,"
Han whispered. "Check this again. Check it twice." Captain Wu was already on another computer. "Admiral, I'm looking at our sensors now. Luna Base 7 is. It's not there anymore." Han closed his eyes. Luna Base 7 was a research station on Earth's moon. 3,000 people lived and worked there. Scientists, engineers, doctors, teachers. Some of them had families. Some of them had children. "How?" Han asked. "The aliens say it was an accident," Na said. "They were traveling through space using some kind of fast travel. They made a mistake and appeared right where our base was. The base was destroyed instantly." Opened his eyes and looked at the alien message again. The Vex said they were sorry. They wanted to give humanity gifts to make up for the accident. They offered technology and knowledge. They said this was normal. They said this was how things worked in space. 3,000 people, Han said softly. More messages came from the alien ship. The Vex explained that accidents like this happened sometimes. They said space was big and dangerous. They said the important thing was to fix the problem with gifts and friendship. They offered to share star maps. They offered to teach humans about other alien races. They said humanity could join their group and travel the galaxy. Captain Wu read the new messages and shook his head. "Sir, they think this is normal. They think saying sorry and giving us presents will fix everything." Han felt anger growing in his chest. Hot, burning anger. These aliens had killed 3,000 innocent people and thought they could make it right with gifts. "Get me a direct line to Earth Command," Han said. "Yes, sir," Na said. While they waited for the connection, more information came in. The Vex ship was huge, much bigger than any human ship. Their technology was clearly more advanced. They could travel faster than light. They could move across the galaxy in seconds. But they had used that power to accidentally destroy a human base. And now, they acted like it was no big deal. "Admiral," Captain Wu said, "Earth Command is calling an emergency meeting. They want to talk to the aliens." "I bet they do," Han said. The screen showed a new message from the Vex. They were still explaining how sorry they were. They listed all the wonderful things they wanted to give humanity. Advanced engines, powerful computers, medicine that could cure diseases. All of it free, they said. All of it to make up for their little mistake. Han read every word. The aliens wrote like they had done this before, like they had accidentally killed people from other planets and always fixed it the same way. Say sorry, give gifts, become friends. "Sir," Na said, "I'm getting reports from Luna Base 7's last transmission. They sent an emergency signal right before. ... She stopped talking." "Before what?" Han asked. "Before they saw the alien ship appear. The message said something big was coming out of hyperspace. Then nothing." Han imagined those final moments. 3,000 people going about their normal day. Scientists working on experiments, engineers fixing equipment, families eating breakfast, then suddenly seeing an alien ship appear in space. Maybe some of them had time to be excited about first contact. Maybe some of them had time to be afraid. None of them had time to escape. The alien ship just appeared and destroyed everything. Accident or not, 3,000 humans were dead. Han looked around the bridge at his crew. They were all watching him, waiting to see what he would do. Aliens wanted to be friends. Earth's command would probably want to accept their gifts. But Han was thinking about something else. He was thinking about the ships hidden in the outer solar system. Ships built for war. Ships designed to fight and kill and destroy. The aliens thought humans were like every other race in the galaxy. They thought humans would accept apologies and gifts for dead people. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The alien ship. Kael'ren waited in space, like a giant metal whale. It was bigger than anything humans had ever built.
Oh.
Inside the ship, the Vex were getting worried. Coordinator Zelo moved through the ship's hallways on his metal legs. He was not like a human. His body was made of machine parts and glowing liquid. His mind was connected to thousands of other Vex across the galaxy. "This makes no sense," Zelo said to his helper, Vex Unit Nex. "The humans should have answered by now. Every species in the galaxy follows the same rules." Nex's lights blinked as he processed information. "Perhaps they do not understand our offer. Should we send more gifts?" "We have already offered them star travel technology," Zelo replied. "We have offered them knowledge of 100 worlds. We've offered them membership in the galactic community. What more could they want?" Down on Earth, humans were arguing about exactly that question. In a big meeting room in New York, the world's leaders sat around a long table. Half of them wanted to accept the alien gifts. Half of them wanted something else entirely. Ambassador Tay stood up and walked to the front of the room. He was a thin man with gray hair who had spent his whole life trying to make peace between countries. Now he was trying to make peace with aliens. "Friends," Tay said, "we must think clearly about this. Yes, we lost people at Luna Base 7. That is terrible. But this was an accident. The Vex have said sorry. They want to give us amazing technology. This could change everything for humanity." Tay pressed a button, and pictures appeared on the wall. Pictures of alien cities among the stars. Pictures of ships that could travel faster than light. Pictures of medical machines that could cure any disease. "Look at what they offer us," Tay continued. "We could end hunger. We could cure cancer. We could travel to other worlds. All we have to do is accept their apology and move forward as friends." Many people in the room nodded their heads. What? It made sense. The aliens seemed nice. They were offering incredible gifts. Why not take them? But Admiral Han was not nodding. He sat at the military section of the table with his arms crossed. His face was hard as stone. "May I speak?" Han asked. "Of course, Admiral," said the president. Han stood up slowly. He was a big man with scars on his hands from years of military service. When he spoke, his voice was quiet, but everyone listened. "Ambassador Tay asks us to think clearly," Han said. "So let me be very clear. 3,000 innocent people are dead. They died because aliens made a mistake. Now those same aliens want to give us presents and pretend nothing happened." Admiral Tay interrupted. "This is how galactic civilization works. We cannot change what happened. We can only move forward." "Can we?" Han asked. "Tell me, Ambassador, what is the price of a human life? The aliens think they know. They think some technology and star maps equal 3,000 dead humans. Do you agree with them?" The room became very quiet, looked uncomfortable. "This was an accident," Tay said again. "So if I accidentally killed your family," Han replied, "you would forgive me if I gave you a new car?" Tay's face turned red. "That is not the same thing." "It is exactly the same thing," Han said. "These aliens killed our people. Now they want us to say thank you for their gifts." "Ah! That is not how humans work." Commander So stood up from her seat. She was the head of Earth's intelligence services. She knew secrets that most people in the room had never heard. "Admiral Han is right," So said. "I have been studying the alien communications. They really think this is normal. They have done this before with other species. They accidentally kill some people. They say sorry. They give gifts, and everyone becomes friends." "And what is wrong with that?" asked the senator from Europe. "What is wrong," So continued, "is that they expect us to be like every other species they have met. But we are not." So pressed her own button, and new pictures appeared on the wall. Pictures of human warships hidden in the outer solar system. Pictures of weapons that could destroy entire cities. Pictures of military technology that the aliens had never seen. The Vex think humans are peaceful like them, so explained. They think we will accept their apology because that is what civilized species do. They have no idea what humans are really like when someone kills our people. Admiral Han smiled for the first time that day. It was not a nice smile. The aliens have been sending messages for 3 days, Han said. They keep asking why we have not accepted their gifts. They cannot understand why we are taking so long to forgive them, because they have never met a species like us, so added. Every other race in the galaxy learned to be peaceful before they learned to fight. Humans learned to fight first. President Chen leaned forward in her chair. What are you suggesting, Admiral? Han's smile grew wider. I am suggesting we teach our new alien friends about human customs. I am suggesting we show them what happens when someone kills 3,000 humans and thinks saying sorry is enough. In space, Coordinator Zelo was still waiting for an answer. He had no idea that the humans were not planning to send words. They were planning to send warships. Captain June looked out the window of his ship and felt proud. 12 human warships floated in space near the asteroid called Ceres. They were hidden in the shadow of the big rock so that no one could see them from Earth or from the alien ship. Each ship was beautiful and deadly. The humans had built them in secret over many years. Jun's ship was called Gingyuai, which meant justice in the old Korean language. Next to it was the Pokpun, which meant storm. Beyond that was the Byonghae, which meant lightning, and the Yonghae, which meant warrior. All the ships had names that meant war and power and strength. The humans who built them knew what they were for. Captain, said Lieutenant Park from her station. Admiral Han's shuttle is coming aboard. Jun straightened his uniform. Admiral. Han was the most famous military commander in the solar system. He had never lost a battle. More importantly, he understood that some things were worth fighting for. The doors to the bridge opened, and Admiral Han walked in. He was a big man with gray hair and serious eyes. Behind him came Admiral Huan, his second in command, carrying a sealed envelope. Status report, Han said. All 12 ships are ready, sir, Jun replied. Every weapon is loaded. Every engine is hot. The crew is ready for action. Han nodded and looked out at the fleet. These ships were not like the pretty alien vessel that waited near Earth's moon. The human ships were built like sharks, long and sharp and dangerous. Their hulls were dark gray metal that would not reflect light. Their weapons were hidden behind armor plates that could open in seconds. What about Earth? Han asked. Admiral. Huan stepped forward. The politicians are still talking, sir. Ambassador Tay is trying to convince everyone to accept the alien gifts. He says it would be crazy to fight beings with such advanced technology, an Earth command. Huan handed Han the sealed envelope. Official orders are to stay ready, but do not attack. Unofficial orders. He pointed to the envelope. Han opened it and read the paper inside. His face did not change, but Jun saw a small smile at the corner of his mouth. Understood, Han said. He put the paper in his pocket. Tell me about our target. Commander Lee at the intelligence station turned on. A big screen showed the alien ship Kaelrin floating in space. The ship was huge and round, covered in smooth metal and glowing lights. It looked like a palace or a temple, not a war machine. The alien ship has defensive shields, Lee reported. But their weapons appear to be designed for mining and construction work. We see no evidence of military hardware. It's interesting, Han said. What about their armor? Very light, sir. Ship seems built for speed and comfort, not combat. Our scans show the hull would not stop our smallest missiles. Han looked at the other officers on the bridge. Do you know why their ship is so weakly defended? The officers shook their heads. Because Han explained, they have never needed. To fight, the Vex have been traveling space for thousands of years. In all that time, they have never met a species that responds to accidents with violence. Every race they know solves problems with talking and gift-giving. Captain Jun understood. They think all intelligent species are peaceful. Exactly, Han said, but humans are not like other species. We did not become peaceful first and then learn to build starships. We learned to fight first. We have been fighting each other for thousands of years. We got very good at it. Admiral Wan activated another screen showing human military history. Pictures of ancient battles with swords and arrows. Pictures of wars with guns and tanks. Pictures of conflicts in space with lasers and missiles. Other species, Han continued, spent their early years exploring and learning and making friends. Humans spent their early years figuring out better ways to kill each other. That is why our ships are different. Jun looked out at the human fleet again and saw it with new eyes. The alien ship Kael'ren was built to travel between stars and carry diplomats and scientists. It was made for a universe where everyone was friends. The human ships were built to hunt and destroy other human ships. They were made for a universe where your neighbor might try to kill you at any moment. Every piece of technology, every weapon, every defense system had been tested in real combat against other humans, and humans, Jun realized, were the most dangerous enemy any species could face. Humans fought dirty. Humans never gave up. Humans would rather die than surrender. Sir Lieutenant Park said, "We are receiving new messages from the alien ship. They are asking again why Earth has not responded to their compensation offer." "Let them wait a little longer," Han replied. "When we do respond, I want it to be very clear." Jen felt excitement growing in his chest. Soon, the aliens would learn what humans were really like. Soon, they would understand that saying sorry was not enough. The 12 ships of humanity's secret fleet hung in space like sleeping dragons, waiting for the order to wake up and teach the galaxy a lesson it would. Never forget, the 12 human warships appeared out of nowhere like ghosts materializing in space. One moment there was empty darkness beyond Earth's moon. The next moment, a deadly fleet hung in perfect formation, their dark hulls reflecting the cold light of distant stars. Admiral Han stood on the bridge of his flagship and looked at the alien ship through the main window. The Kael'ren was enormous and beautiful, covered in smooth curves and glowing lights. It looked like something built by artists, not soldiers. "Open communications," Han ordered. Lieutenant Na pressed buttons on her control panel. "Channel open, sir." Han took a deep breath. Everything that happened next would change human history forever. Either the aliens would understand his message, or humanity would go to war with beings from another world. Vex Vessel Han spoke into the microphone. "This is Admiral Han of the Earth Defense Force. 3,000 humans are dead. We have come to collect." The response came immediately. The alien voice sounded strange, like a computer trying to sound like a person. "Admiral Han, we welcome this contact. We are ready to begin compensation immediately." Coordinator Zilo was excited as he sent the message. Finally, the humans were ready to talk. He had prepared a wonderful package of gifts, star maps showing 1,000 worlds, technology that could make human ships travel faster than light, medical knowledge that could cure every human disease. "Our reparations package includes advanced propulsion technology," Zilo continued, "stellar cartography data, and formal membership in the Vex Collective. We can transfer these gifts to your ships right now." On the human bridge, the officers looked at each other in amazement. The aliens really thought they could pay for dead humans with presents. "You misunderstand," Han replied, his voice cold as ice. "We are not here to receive compensation. We are here to ensure this never happens again." Inside the Kael'ren, Zilo felt confusion flowed through his mechanical mind. This response was not in any of his programming. In 3,000 years of space, travel the Vex had met hundreds of different species. They had accidentally damaged other people's property. They had accidentally hurt other people. They had even accidentally killed other people. Every single time, the solution was the same. Say sorry, offer gifts, become friends. It always worked. Admiral Zilo tried again. "Our protocols show no precedent for this response. The death of your people was accidental. We offer full restitution according to galactic law." Han's face grew harder. "We do not follow galactic law. We follow human law. And human law says that when you kill our people, there are consequences." Zilo shared his confusion with the other Vex on his ship. None of them understood. What did the human mean by consequences? What was human law? Why did they not want the gifts? Admiral Han Zilo said. Please explain what you require. We are prepared to increase our compensation offer. We can provide you with weapons technology. We can give you the locations of rich planets to colonize. What do you want? What do we want? Han repeated. He turned to look at Captain Jen, who was standing beside him. Jen nodded back. They both knew what came next. I want you to understand, Han continued, that human life is not for sale. We want you to understand that accidents have consequences. We want you to understand that humanity does not forgive and forget when our people are murdered, but it was an accident, Zilo protested. Our hyperspace calculations were incorrect. We did not intend to harm your base. Surely you understand that intentions matter. Han was quiet for a long moment. Around him, his bridge crew waited to see what he would say. Finally, he pressed the button to speak again. Tell me something, Coordinator Zilo. If I accidentally killed your family, would you forgive me if I gave you a gift? Zilo processed this question. The concept was difficult for him to understand. The Vex did not have families the way humans did. They were all connected in one big mind. But he tried to find an equivalent. If you accidentally damaged part of our collective, Zilo said slowly, we would expect you to repair the damage and provide compensation to prevent future accidents. And if I refused? Han asked. Refused? Zilo was confused again. Why would you refuse? Compensation is the logical solution. Because, Han said, humans are not logical when our people are killed. We are angry. We are hurt. And we want justice. Not gifts. More Vex ships began arriving in the area. Zilo had called for help, hoping that other members of his collective could understand what the humans wanted. Soon, there were 17 alien vessels surrounding the 12 human warships. Captain, Jun watched the tactical display as more targets appeared. Admiral, we are outnumbered. Numbers do not matter, Han replied. They are not warships. They are exploration vessels. He was right. The Vex ships were beautiful and advanced, but they were not built for combat. They had shields and some basic defensive weapons, but nothing compared to the arsenal carried by the human fleet. Admiral Han Zilo tried one more time. Please reconsider. We can give you anything you desire. Technology, knowledge, power. We do not understand what you want. Han smiled grimly. What we want is very simple. Coordinator Zilo. We want you to learn that human lives matter, and we are going to teach you that lesson right now. The battle lasted 3 days. When it was over, pieces of alien ships floated in space like broken toys. The beautiful Vex vessels that had seemed so advanced were now just scrap metal drifting in the darkness. Admiral Han stood on the bridge of his flagship and watched the wreckage spin slowly past his window. His ships had not suffered a single major hit. The human weapons had been too fast, too accurate, too deadly for the aliens to defend against. Admiral Lieutenant Na called from her station. We are receiving a transmission from the remaining Vex ship. Only one alien vessel was left mostly intact. It was damaged and powerless, but still able to send messages. Han had left it alive. On purpose. He wanted someone to carry the news back to the rest of the galaxy. Put it on speaker. Han ordered. Coordinator Zilo's voice came through the communication system. He sounded different now. Before, his artificial voice had been confident and friendly. Now it was quiet and afraid. Admiral Han Zilo said, we yield to human authority. We request cessation of hostilities and agree to all human terms. Han nodded to Captain Jun, who was standing beside him. Good one. The aliens finally understood that humans were not like other species in the galaxy. Message received, Han. Replied, your surrender is accepted. But Han was not finished. He knew that other alien species were listening to these communications. Ships from a dozen different races were hiding at the edge of the solar system, watching what the humans would do. This was his chance to send a message to all of them. Open a channel to all frequencies, Han told Na. Full broadcast power. Want every species in the local galaxy to hear this? Na's fingers moved quickly over her controls. Channel open, sir. Broadcasting on all known alien communication frequencies. Han took a deep breath and began to speak. His words would travel through space to reach alien worlds hundreds of light years away. "This is Admiral Han of the human species," he said. "To all alien races who are listening, understand this. The Sol system is now under human protection. No alien vessel will enter our space without explicit permission." He paused and looked out at the floating debris that had once been the Vex fleet. "Any harm to human civilians, accidental or otherwise, will result in immediate military retaliation. We do not accept apologies for dead humans. We do not accept gifts as payment for human lives. We do not forgive accidents that kill our people." On the bridge, the human officers felt proud as they listened to their admiral's words. For too long, humanity had been alone in the universe, wondering if they would ever meet other intelligent life. Now they had met aliens, and the aliens had learned to respect human power. "This is the new reality," Han continued. "Humans are not like other species you have encountered. We do not solve conflicts with negotiations and gifts. When someone kills our people, we respond with force. Remember this lesson well." The transmission reached alien ships scattered across the galaxy. Species that had never heard of humans suddenly learned that a new and dangerous race had joined the galactic community. On the planet Nexus Prime, the Collective Council met in emergency session. Representatives from 50 different alien races gathered to discuss what they had witnessed. "This is unprecedented," said Ambassador Keth of the Zarian Empire. "No species in recorded history has responded to accidental death with deliberate warfare." "The humans destroyed 17 ships," added Counselor Vex of the Trade Federation. "Advanced vessels with shields and defensive systems. They made it look easy." "What kind of beings are we dealing with?" asked Speaker Nix of the Peaceful Alliance. "Their weapons technology is more advanced than anything we have seen." The alien leaders were frightened. For thousands of years, galactic civilization had been built on the principle that intelligent species were peaceful. Wars were rare and small. Most conflicts were solved through talking and trading, but humans were different. They had spent their entire history fighting each other. Their weapons were not designed to defend against pirates or wild animals. Human weapons were designed to destroy other human weapons. And if humans could build weapons to fight each other, they could certainly build weapons to fight aliens. Back on the human flagship, Admiral Han received reports from across the fleet. "All ships reporting minimal damage," Commander Lee announced. "Total human casualties, 0, and alien casualties?" Han asked. 16 ships destroyed, approximately 4,000 Vex killed. 1 ship damaged, but intact with 300 survivors. Han nodded. The lesson had been taught. The aliens would remember this day for a very long time. "Set course for Earth," Han ordered. "We are going home." As the human fleet began to move away from the battle site, they left behind more than just wreckage. They left behind the old galaxy, where accidents were forgiven and conflicts were solved with words. The new galaxy would be different. The new galaxy would have humans in it. And humans, as every alien race now knew, did not forgive accidents that killed their people. The age of easy apologies was over. The age of human justice had begun. Coordinator Xylo, floating alone in his damaged ship, sent one final message to his people. It was a warning that would spread to every corner of the galaxy. Avoid the humans. They are not like us. They are dangerous.